Hey guys, Kevin here, and welcome back to my channel. This time we're going to be doing a series of maintenance work on this 2002 Jeep Wrangler TJ with a 4-liter straight 6 engine and manual transmission. For episode 1, we're going to be changing the transmission fluid on this Jeep. Here are some of the things that we're going to need. Transmission fluid, 1/2-inch breaker bar, 1/2-inch wrench, fluid pump, 17mm hex socket, paper towels, a pair of gloves, and a catch pan, of course. Before we start, there are 2 important things I need to address. One is there's going to be 2 plugs on the transmission, a fuel plug and a drain plug. You need to be able to loosen the fuel plug before you drain all the fluid out. This is because if you cannot take off your fuel plug and you drain all your fluid out, you'll be in big trouble. The second important thing is the fluid. Now, I did lots of research for this particular transmission, and in my opinion, synchromesh is the best. Now, I have here Royal Purple Synchromax, which will give you better wear protection and hopefully a smoother shift. Let's start the work. But first, let me put my gloves on. Here we have the transmission and the 17mm fuel plug that I was talking about earlier. And here's the drain plug, which is also 17mm. As you can see here, we have the breaker bar and the 17mm hex socket into the fuel plug, and we're going to try to loosen it before we start to make sure that we can properly drain out the liquid, and this may take a little bit of effort. Now, once it's loosened, we can use our wrench and put it into this socket and start loosening with our wrench. Look, here's the fuel plug that I just took off. Now we're gonna go take off the drain plug. When it's loosened, you want to switch the wrench and make sure that when it's about to come off, you keep a little bit of pressure to minimize the mess you make. Now that it's loose enough, you can just use your hands. And make sure to get out of the splash zone for this one. Make sure you keep this one safe and don't lose it. Now that this is almost done draining, I sprayed the drain plug with brake cleaner to get rid of all the metal that's sticking to it. And now let's check. The paper towel was soaking up all the excess. I think we're good, so we're gonna put this back on. You can hand screw it a little bit to make sure that it goes in most of the way. And grab your wrench. Make sure it's all the way in. Switch to the breaker bar. And tightened. Now we're going to start the pumping. Now that we're done filling, we want to overfill it until it starts dripping. And you want to take this off and try to catch as much of it as you can.
and just find the screw, find the hole, and screw it back in. Once it is enough, once it's in enough, you can use the wrench to screw it in. Okay. Now we're going to tighten it with the wrench. Okay, and we're going to switch to the breaker bar. Now we're going to tighten it with our breaker bar as tight as possible. Okay, and we're good.
That's it for the transmission fluid change. I'd really appreciate it if you could drop a like and subscribe. I'll show you next episode something else to do on this Jeep, and that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching.